What up, people? This is Tatiana Tarot hitting you with another tarot energy forecast of the week. And it is Monday, August 14th. Happy Monday, y'all. I am not failing you. I am coming out with another video because I was not able to do so yesterday because I was actually resting. And that is a miracle because my motherfucking ass never rests. Anywho, I'm really stoked. I just finished another video with Emily, the Voluptuous Witch. So this dope, phenomenal astrologer. I usually tell you about her in all my videos. So stay tuned for that video as well because you'll have the astrological components as to what's going on this week to top it off if you need any more information on that regard. But for those that are new, welcome to my page. I'm a tarot reader, ritual practitioner. I work with energy consciousness, and I predominantly just use the cards to channel spirit during this particular video on a week-to-week basis to see what's going on an energetic level for the week and what we need to know on our conscious and from our conscious and subconscious minds. So I'm just gonna break right into it and giving us some insight on what's to come the week prior to the solar eclipse on August 21st. So we've got 1 week to really tie in any loose ends. We're in the waning moon period, heading into the new moon shortly, new moon in Leo. And so waning moon, what are we releasing? What are we cleansing? What are we kind of dying down from? Right? And so spirit, let's see what's in store for us. For the highest good of all involved in love and light, I ask that you come out for us, bring forth my higher self, spirit guides, and ancestors to best allow me to be the vessel for us today. I thank you for your wisdom, your clarity, and your protection. Ashe. Okay, spirit, what do we need to know for August 14th and 15th on a conscious note? Okay, what do we need to know subconsciously? What do we need to know subconsciously August 14th and 15th, spirit? Okay, really interesting. So we're getting this energy here on a conscious note of the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is really interesting card because, okay, a lot of people would equate this to a lot of unification, feeling united with a bigger overall theme that obviously is very prevalent in the news on a macro scale, what's affecting us, what's going on with our society, and maybe is on a conscious note, it's making us question, okay, where can we find more harmony? Where can I find more unity in things? Is it in my spiritual practice? How can I show up for my community? How can I show up for my society? Or how can I just show up in general? The 10 of Cups is that kind of telling us, you know, it's a reminder not to dwell in the negative. And it's not necessarily to negate the realities of what's going on or to just put on a mask and just be oblivious to what's going on, because we don't want to do that either. But what we don't want to do is reside in a state of fear that is disempowering us from taking the right, proper action at this time, be it on an internal and external level, to rectify things that are going on. I mean, spirituality is essentially, you know, where everything starts from. So what's going on externally is just a reflection of the state of society on an internal level. So even if this calls for you to be more conscious on self-work, to be more conscious on how you can focus on self-transformation and you can be the leading edge in your own life towards empowerment and being more conscious, that's really going to help the collective field. That's really going to help people overall. So don't just, in lieu of what's going on politically, don't just think that, if you are not a political activist, if you're not right out there, that you're not doing anything. A lot of the work starts internally. If you are really putting in the effort to being mindful, to being consciousness, to using your voice in a proactive way, to using your skill sets and your talents in a proactive way, it's all about the unification. It's all about detoxifying this patriarchal, stagnant, white supremacy type energy out there. And even if it doesn't involve with that, just kind of twisting the old paradigm and shifting it into something more welcoming and something more, friendly for all of us involved, that's doing something. So the Ten of Cups, on a conscious note, will really have you questioning emotionally, and more spiritually. What does unification mean? What do I need to do to unify or find more harmony in my life? What's the bigger picture? Because 10 is a pretty much a card of finals, of finales, of closure, coming to an end. Basically, on a numerological scale, is not necessarily the last number, because 9 would be the last digit before you go into the double digits, and then you add on those digits together to create to sum it down to its lowest common digit, if that makes any sense. So essentially 10 would be 1 and 0. Adding that together, that would be 1. So it's not a new number. So we're really coming into a new cycle here, where we are considering, okay, what is the bigger picture? How do my present actions consciously reflect the bigger picture that I'm really aiming to create? And how does my family play a role in it? How do I play a role in choosing the energies around me on a physical level? Whether that being, do I want my friends, or my friends reflecting the type of future I want to live in? Are they authentic? Am I being authentic by holding this energy? And so 10 of Cups does give us a positive reassurance towards what's to come, but it also reminds us that that cannot come if we're not generating that energy now. So not only is it saying kind of be the change, maybe engage in community activities, or really allow your skill sets and your talents to be a factor in harmonizing others, bringing harmony to others, bringing a sense of closure and clarity and peace to others. But also, what does that mean for you? How are you striving for that? How are you physically working towards that? How do your belief systems mirror that? How is your emotions mirroring that right now? The 10 of Cups can represent all is well at the end of the day, but also grounds us and makes us be very mindful not to take anything for granted, because things can change in an instant. And there's a sense of overwhelming gratitude and appreciation for what's going on in the card. There is a sense of like, we finally made it to this point. And in retrospect, we can kind of honor and see why all the hardships have had to happen in order for us to get here. So, it's not necessarily like pressing fast forward and skipping all the negative energy that you have to live through. It's more like you finding the positive in the negative, and then also taking that a step forward and being proactive to how to resolve that, how to transform the negative to your favor, how to be more solution oriented rather than problem oriented. Okay, so shifting this for yourself on a conscious level could be happening earlier this week in any aspect of your life. It doesn't even have to be on a macro scale. It could be, oh my God, my finances. Oh my God, my love life. Oh my God, my relationship with my family. And so you might find this sense of harmony now, more stronger appreciation. Like, wow, all the shit that I've gone through in the past, or that I brought up, is really bullshit. And when it's in perspective to what's going on out there. So subconsciously, we have a lot going on because we are showing up as the Ace of Cups for the 14th and 15th. And bear in mind that, you know, just because I'm pulling out cards for the first 2 days of the week doesn't necessarily pertain to those 2 days. It can also, the message can be very much relevant for the rest of the week. So just bear that with an open mind and an open heart. The Ace of Cups, we see the illustration of a cup overflowing, right? So your cup shall overflow. We're getting a lot of emotion this week. First 2 days filled with emotion, right? Because cups is the holder of water, holder of liquids, a conduit to spirit energy, emotions and feelings flowing, okay? So this is really about not being stagnant in what is, but allowing ourselves to flow. Ace of Cups showing up as our subconscious realm is really communicating that we have we are a vessel for the divine, and we're really allowing that to shine through at this time. This can be, you know, emotions that have been pent up within, maybe something that we are triggered by that causes an emotional release, or feeling like you have to express yourself artistically or creatively at this time. You have so much inside of you that needs to be released because you are this vessel and the spirit is channeling you, you know, calling on you now to do spirit work, you know, to show up the way spirit wants you to show up, because it's chosen you as the messenger of its magic. So Ace of Cups is saying, okay, you know, you might be actually feeling very abundant. And, you know, whether that means abundant in ideas, abundant in creativity, abundant in emotion, you are overflowing in some way. So I wouldn't be surprised if you have any emotional releases, whether that be in a physical manner, crying, wanting to dance it out. Movement is very important for allowing this transition to be very fluid, okay, and really allowing everything that needs to be said in your body, whether that be through exercise, again, dance, sex, if sex is done in the right way, with the right person, with the right intentions, in a healthy manner, in a pure manner. Ace of Cups is also you may be wanting to be of service. Maybe you showing up as a healer to someone. Maybe you offering yourself to someone on a subconscious level. You might feel prompted to do it. You might feel like, okay, well, listen, I don't care if I don't have 8 years of experience as a Reiki healer. I feel like I have enough knowledge to offer my services, just to be out there because we really need it at this time. Or I feel like my skill set, can be utilized as a tool for self-transformation, for healing, for helping others during this shift. And I want to put it out there. I want to offer myself out there. So just bear that in mind, that you may feel compelled to give. You may feel compelled to serve and honor a spirit, but also compelled to release. This is a drastic release. This is a needed release. I mean, we're getting a release in the subconscious. That means that we now have the space, and we're making the space, but we also have the space to program things that we desire for the future. So we're releasing old programs, we're releasing old trauma, we're releasing old toxins. And this is phenomenal because, you know, we're kind of like a computer program that needs to be rebooted, that needs to be cleared up in order to upgrade the newest software, in order for us to operate optimally. So yeah, take that and chew on it. Let's see what's going on the 16th and 17th of August. 16th and 17th of August on a conscious level, spirit. We are getting consciously, subconsciously, spirit. 16th and 17th of August, subconsciously. Okay. On a conscious note, we are getting the Ace of Pentacles. Aces represent gateways. They represent portals in which we have the liberty to enter and really radically transform our lives, or we're closing a portal that we have left open for some time that is no longer serving us. In this case, we're talking about initiations and beginnings for the 15th and 16th of this month. We have the Ace of Pentacles, an energy that deals with the tangible, that deals with practicality, stability, security, groundedness, and manifestation. We're dealing with earth. We're dealing with what's real, what's physical. Okay, so the Ace of Pentacles, we do see like a hand being extended out from the sky, holding this golden coin. We don't know where the hell this hand is coming from. We can allude that it's like the hands of God, or assume that it's the hand of God. We're not quite certain, but it is an unexpected gesture of prosperity, of opportunity. So consciously, the Ace of Pentacles may be you receiving gift that you're quite well aware of, or you're expecting money. This can be falling into your lap, or you have this really radical idea that you know is very practical. Maybe you've done your research, or maybe you have just marinated over it for some time, and now it's the time to really put those gears into motion. This could be a new job. It could be a new career change. It could be a new home, moving to a new environment, a new relationship, or the solidification of a relationship, the seriousness, the growth, and the maturity of a relationship to go long term. Generally, when we're talking about earth, when we're talking about pentacles, we're talking about things that take time to grow, sowing the seeds and waiting a couple of seasons to see that plants or intention come into fruition. Well, now is the time to sow the seed. Now is the time to plant it. Now is the time to really cultivate what you've been envisioning. And what better way to make it physical than to be active about it, to be really doing the work and not just fantasizing or just feeling the passion inside of you. It's more of an action card. So Ace of Pentacles, like, I do feel like you need to be aware of the resources that you have around you. Also be aware that manifestation is instant. This is something I've been saying a lot in my videos. And manifestation, we're in a period of high vibrational frequencies. So that means whether it's a positive or negative frequency, is so high, it's going to be illuminated. So high vibrational frequencies isn't necessarily just like, oh my God, positive, okie dokie stuff. Healing is not linear. Healing can be a very painful process, can be like pulling teeth out of your mouth, can be a dragging, slow, excruciating process. But it is going to be birthing something much greater than you can ever anticipate. So it's going to take time. It is going to take effort. It is going to take conscious will to let it be so. But I do feel like the resources are around you. You shouldn't be struggling to find the resources if need be. And manifestation is so instant that you could be thinking of something, and then somebody comes and hits you up a day later with the tools you need to create that. The tools you need to get going in the right direction. So bear in mind that this is not so much about marinating on the details. It's more about, okay, do I feel it in my heart? Am I really serious enough to take the action when the action steps are presented to me? Am I responsible enough to really put in the work to make this real? And if you are, well, it's certainly going to be handed to you as clear as day, because the spirit doesn't want to waste time with somebody who's going to waste his time. The spirit, is ever pervasive. So if you ain't going to be the vessel, the person next to you could be the vessel. Someone who's open, willing, waiting, and is competent to do the work will be the vessel and will be taking that idea. And you can't really bing and you can't really say nothing because you didn't show up for yourself. You didn't show up for spirit. This is a time to show up for yourself. This is a time to show up for spirit. This is a time to really do the work. And this is the time to get up off your lazy ass and find all the assets that are going to help you to do the work. And if you've been looking, you can't find, then you shall receive. Abundance should not be an issue here. This is the card of abundance. So it is important for you to know that abundance is an energetic factor. It's not a physical factor. So just don't always be looking for physical signs of abundance, okay? Just like the 10 of Cups. I'm so grateful for this air. I'm so grateful for this family. I'm so grateful for the hardships. I'm so grateful for the ups as much as I am for the downs, okay? So everything is included in what is abundance. Subconsciously, we are getting the 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles is interesting. 6 of Pentacles is a card of teaching. It's a card of you now leveling up to be a master in your life, teaching others, leading through example, pulling yourself up from the muck, and really being able to provide some sort of tangible help to other people. 6 of Pentacles, I feel as if you will be showing up to work here. Subconsciously, it's like maybe you've been feeling the pull or the call to be more of service, to give of your resources or share knowledge in some way. And this is also a card of reciprocity, which can make sense as to why you're being offered all this abundance with the Ace of Pentacles, because you've been putting in the work subconsciously. If you've been showing up and helping others or helping yourself, you come from the bottom now to the top, and that's why you relate to these people so well. That's why you can give of yourself, because you have hope in transforming and shifting the dynamic. 6 of Pentacles can also represent someone showing up for you, someone guiding you, someone teaching you or offering you a position to be a teacher, offering you, some sort of unexpected help in terms of finances, someone giving you. So be open to receive in the middle of the week, because it seems to be very receptive energy, especially after all the clearing you're doing in the beginning of the week. You're doing clearing. In the middle of the week, you are receiving. So just be mindful of that. That is what may happen to you. Massive water break. Now let's see what's going on for the weekend, the 17th, 18th. Espérate un segundo. Hold on. So I said the 14th and the 15th. I meant the 16th and the 17th was for Wednesday and Thursday. And the 18th, 19th, and 20th is for this weekend. So let's pull out cards for this weekend. Mama's a little bit slow today. Okay, I'm coming out of like a hiatus of taking a break and getting back into the groove. And energy's a lot. The energy's very strong. Okay, we just like Emily and I just channeled Papa Legba El Legua. What is that? A cowrie shell? I can't even find it. Yep. Somewhere. Baby Magic's room is still in construction, as you can see, / my office. So everything is still kind of falling into its divine place. But it's important for you guys to know that this stuff may seem like it's happening very quickly, but to take your own pace, to take the pace that you feel is most comfortable for you while this is going on. Slowing down the pace doesn't necessarily mean procrastinate. It's important for you not to procrastinate, to really do the work that you're feeling compelled to do, but also to honor when you need to create space in your life. So let's see what's going on consciously, 18th, 19th, and the 20th. Subconsciously, 18th, 19th, 20th. Consciously, we are getting the 7 of Wands. We're ready to make a stand in our lives. Enough is enough. 7 of Wands is really a card of warrior energy, and utilizing that warrior energy with wisdom, not just being at, not just burning everything down in sight, but analyzing, okay, what is it that I need to burn to give rebirth to, new energy to, how am I going to approach this? What am I actually saying? What is my intention through all of this action? 7 of Wands can be a very resilient card. Shows that you're extremely resilient. Shows that you have the energy to bounce back from anything that you are experiencing. But it can also be a very isolating card. It can make you feel like you're the only one that perceives this way, or you're the only one thinking in this form, or you are, the only one fighting this fight, be that on a personal scale or a collective scale. 7 of Wands, we do see the image of this man that's fighting back against all these sticks, and we don't know who's behind these sticks, okay? So it's important for you to just be mindful that it's not necessarily that the world is against you. It just may mean that in certain aspects of your life, you might need to take a stronger stance, that things are just not going to open sesame clear itself for you just because you see it, you see fit. That sometimes things do take effort, and that your effort will be paying off. This is a card that does communicate that your effort is being paid off, that your ancestors are recognizing the amount of force and energy you're exerting into this scenario, and they're assisting you, okay? But you want to do so intelligently. You want to do so mindfully. And you will have positive results, because internally on a subconscious level, you're showing up as the Knight of Pentacles. So Pentacles means slow and steady progress, but it also shows someone who's extremely forthright, determined, and very with strong perseverance to get to what they want to achieve. So in the case of the Knight of Pentacles, we do see this sort of journey, him setting off on the journey to this unknown land to create the status of the king for himself. He wants to become a king, but he has to start out slow and steady because, 1, he doesn't have the experience. 2, he doesn't know when it can actually happen. 3, he doesn't want to fuck up and just waste all the time that he has gained, out there, going out there doing this for himself. He doesn't want to go backwards. He wants to go forwards. So this is about steady growth. This is about being mindful that things are not going to change in an instant, but with the right application, things will change. Knight of Pentacles, going out there for what you want and deciding, like, I'm going to commit to it 100%. I do see this as a card of commitment. I do see this as a card of, again, persistence, dedication. But it is like a slow and steady wins the race. It is a very analytical card. It's a very practical, down-to-earth card, okay? It's not someone who's going to get carried away. So I do see this as, on a conscious note, you are making moves. You're trying to prove yourself against the crowd or fight against the crowd. But what you're doing is justified. What you're doing is balanced. what you're doing will cause a pathway to form, most definitely. And you do have the assistance throughout the week, and you do have the insight streaming in, and you do have maybe the release of the limitations and the blockages in the very beginning of the week that are holding you back from taking this action, from moving forward. So this is really amazing for you. Let's see, what are we communicating here to sum up the week? I want to use a very intuitive deck, Soul Cards by Deborah Koff. Excuse me. Soul cards are not oracle cards, they're not tarot cards. They're just illustrated cards that pull up, invoke a sort of emotion, and you'll get to see their paintings. And they don't have a meaning, a book of meanings. It's whatever you pull. Oracle. Spirit, what is the final energy that we need to receive for the week? Love and light. What do we need to kind of tie in? Okay. So 2 cards. One kind of popped out for what I needed to pull, and one, it was definite yes, I need to pull this. So we have this image here. Okay. So on an intuitive level, this is kind of a sense of a longing. It seems to be a very sorrowful card in many ways. And sorrow is not necessarily a bad thing, but it does kind of, it's like really up here that we notice any sort of solidification, that we notice any form, whereas the form starts to get a little bit foggier down south. And so that's telling me that maybe predominantly the energy is going to be very mental, okay? And it might be a very heady week, whether that means the sorrow is stuck in our heads, or we are surrounded on a very visual, audio, intellectual level, dense on the upper chakras. You know, dense in the upper chakras really constitute for our spiritual chakras, right? And so our spirits may be weighed down at this time, longing for release, longing for a sense of an escapism, longing for a solution. All right, but not being mindful of the lower realms, which really talks about the root, the groundingness, the stability of who we are, how how we physically take a stand in this world. This is something for you to be mindful. How are you physically taking a stand in your life for things that you want to change? How are we going to utilize this sorrow that is giving us information on what's not right, what's not aligned inside of ourselves, and how are we going to transform it towards something proactive that we can really change and see the change. It's also reminding us that we are an energetic being in some way, because she's almost blending in with the backgrounds of the image, and that is telling me she's almost one with the whole scenario, with the air. And it is true, we are energetic beings, or we are really, energetic beings in physical manifestation in 3D, where we can see this, but we still get physical results from this, or we still get a physical impact on, it still has a physical impact on us. So it's very mindful. We have to be very mindful of how things are physically impacting us, and whether or not we need to create space for ourselves to allow ourselves to get back into our solid form, or to protect the energy that we're trying to maintain, to protect the vibration that we're trying to maintain. I do notice that this can hold a very dense aura around us. So anything that is involving clearing, whether that be a social media cleanse, whether that be cleansing from your phone for a couple of days, whether that be food cleanse, consuming water, consuming greens and fruits and vegetables, whether that be a mental cleanse, meditating for a week, for 10 minutes a week, whether that means like you need to take a step forward and start getting rid of things in your home, saging, taking spiritual baths, maybe distancing yourself from toxic people, maybe turning off the television, stop reading the newspapers. If it's very overwhelming, we tend to forget that. We can be very, very heady. I also feel that although this is communicating a sense of sorrow, it is communicating a sense of release, that your spirit is consuming you and is beckoning you to acknowledge the truth of who you are, and that you can't hide your spiritual messages, your spiritual guidance that's becoming stronger and stronger by every minute and every day. So you do have to be aware of what spirituality means to you. How do you define it? What is your faith? What do you do to practice it? How do you utilize your spiritual gifts? What are your spiritual gifts? Everybody has them. Everybody has intuition. Everybody has psychic ability. Everybody has a spirit. What are you doing to commune with that spirit? What are you doing to listen to that spirit? How are you honoring your own spirit? Don't just get so consumed on what's going on around you, but really it's you time before you get swallowed up. Clear out your aura. Do a chakra healing. You don't know how to do a chakra healing? Look it up on YouTube. Chakra healing. Google it. Chakra healing. YouTube chakra meditations. They don't have to be an hour. They could be 10 minutes. They could be 5 minutes. Start being proactive with psychic defenses, with energy defenses, with clearing yourself. It's really going to make a huge difference in shifting your life. Also, there's stuff stuck inside of you that you're not releasing. It's time to release that. Again, any form of expression, anything you need to say, anything you need to do, anything you need to I did channel the message that we need to be a little bit more artistic, or even if you don't consider yourself artistic, or you consider yourself an artist in only one sort of medium, it's time to switch to a new medium. It's time to explore, your potential and doing something radically different, just to allow your spirit to express itself and channel itself through that end. The other card that I had pulled in the final message here is coming out through this image. And this image really gives me hope, but it does communicate the need for internal sacred space to be made. Sacred space to be made inside of yourself, because we could be so consumed with what's going on outside. So I see this as a metamorphosis. You're in a shell that is your safe haven. You need to figure out what that is and what that means to you, how to establish that. And some of you guys are not acting from a space of authenticity. Some of you guys are playing small when you have so much more to actualize and to manifest, and you have all this potential that lies around you. And some of you might be taking your time in acting on your greatness, and that is okay. Again, I said take your time, but don't negate the power that you hold. It's time to take your power back and really play with that. How does it feel to have your power back? How does it feel to have any power? What does it mean? What does power mean to you? What are you going to use with it? It's a time of great meditation, great contemplation, honoring your space, honoring your soul. Who gets to tap into that, and why? You choosing yourself first before anyone else. And knowing that the transformation period is almost at an end, but it's not quite yet. Okay, you're still going through this metamorphosis process. I see this as an egg that is cracking, to become a magnificent being, to become a very radiant being. But this needs to happen before this can happen. This is like the intermediary stage. And the final result is ultimately up to you and what you really want to transition as, because we all have free will. But I do see a connection here with the third eye. If you look very closely, there's like a little dot on the center of his head or her head. And that connection is projecting this aura, this energy field around you. So be mindful of what you're projecting from here. And if you're going to manifest, focus on manifesting and sending out energy from your third eye, because that is also your third eye chakra, the chakra of perception, and allowing you to really create things on a multi-dimensional level, not just 3D. Okay, I do feel the need to protect your heart, because that is what he's most covering. To protect your heart, commune with your heart, connect with your heart, listen to what your heart is saying. For that, you need sacred space. Ain't nobody around him to interrupt the listening process. Focus, listen, be one. Listen to your sorrow. What is it communicating to you? Listen to the birthing process, which is not, it's not physically beautiful. The birthing process is not painless, but altogether it's life transforming, and it is beautiful in many other ways. You're giving birth to yourself, so you need to know what needs to die, or what is asking you to pay attention to it, in order for this birthing process to be more smooth, a smooth transition for you. So I hope that served you well. It was a really, really, really rad reading. Forgive me if I sound low. I've been not losing my voice, but for some reason, this was not a video where I was necessarily projecting a lot of energy. I do feel like there was a lot of energy involved in this video, so I do think that it is worth your time to watch it in full and to share with people that can relate or may need it. That being said, please feel free to communicate with me and let me know how you're doing and what's going on in your life personally. Comment below, like, subscribe, share, and if you want to book a session with me, you can do so on my website, myurbanillumination.com, the Work With Me tab. And I hope to catch you guys next week before we head into the solar eclipse territory. Until then, ciao, bendiciones, and I'll see you. Bye.